I'll just start. Obviously, we knew how well coached this team was. Johnny's been doing this to people for a long time, and our guys, I think they respected St. Thomas, but we didn't have the disposition. We started out okay, and then when I went to the bench, I thought guys didn't necessarily respect who they were playing against, and they just sliced and diced us. I mean, you're not going to beat anybody giving up 60% field goal defense, 48 points in the paint. And they scored on like 3 post-ups. It's just embarrassing defensively, and that's on the coaching staff. That's on me personally. We spent a lot of time this summer on offense trying to keep it fun. We challenged them to defend people, but we clearly haven't done a good enough job as a coaching staff, and me personally, at just guarding the basketball. They're expertly coached in spacing. They play off 2 feet beautifully. They're tough. They're smart. They play together. Like, that's what a basketball team looks like. So we didn't look like one today. Even some of our guys that scored, I thought, played selfishly, especially at the offensive end, calling for the ball instead of running the offense. The offense is designed for them to cut through, and instead they're calling for the ball and go into ISOs. And we're not that good that we can clear out and go one-on-one, especially the way that they load to the basketball. So this was a coaching mismatch of epic proportions, and I got shown what it really looks like to coach your team defensively, how to guard the ball, and offensively in terms of spacing.
Yeah, Coach, I'll ask, do you want to start with, is there any hangover effect from coming off of the P5 game to a fellow mid-major?
I don't think so. I mean, we talked about it after the game about not letting Oklahoma State beat us twice. I think that one of the things that St. Thomas has in their favor is these kids don't know how good they are. They don't know they won national championships and how they've been doing this to Summit League teams that have more talent. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they thought on some level, hey, if we can play Oklahoma State to a point and a half, well, then we can beat St. Thomas. It's not the way it works. But again, even if there was a hangover effect, again, that's a coaching error. That's where you got to get guys ready to play. And I thought the first couple possessions defensively, we were pretty good. Once we went to the bench, it got to be just really tough to play guys as they struggled to defend the ball. And, I will credit 2 of our younger guys, Ben Tweedy and C.J. O'Hara, I thought played their tails off in the second half. And, the reason they played was they defended and they fulfilled their role offensively. But in terms of hangover, I don't know, we were down 19 to them too. People act like we did something, we lost by 13 points. Congratulations, right? Game wasn't close for the last half of the second half. So if there was a hangover, I don't know what film they watched. They all watched the film. We told them what was coming, and it was a better version than we told them. We told them they were really good. So this is a good basketball team, and they're not even as good as they're going to be. But, I mean, you can't give them 54 points in a half and expect to win a game. There's, no chance.
Offensively, you mentioned guys playing selfishly and not running the offense. Do you think that had a lot to do with just shots not falling, getting frustrated?
Yeah. It's and we talked about it all summer, which is when things are going poorly, it doesn't mean you play slower. It just means you're more precise with your execution, and we executed worse. We took some quick shots from guys that weren't hitting. We didn't take them within the flow of the offense. We told them that they're a team that once you get to your second dribble, they're really on you. And we played into their trap a little bit. And we knew that some of our guys have been struggling shooting the basketball they would sag off of, and they did. And those guys took the bait and, didn't make enough shots. But I can't even begin to talk about the offense with the defense. I mean, these numbers are just, they're obscene. 60, 44, and 75. The only thing in our favor was we turned them over a little bit. But, I was proud we got it to, I think we cut it to 11 in the second half. I don't think we ever got into single digits.
Might have been 9, but either way. One last question I have just defensively.
Yeah.
Was there any thought to getting out of the full court press, because that's how they were kind of getting ahead of the court and kind of...
No, they were cutting us up in the half court. So we just... the only idea of the full court press against them is so that you don't have to guard them for 28 seconds. You have to guard them for 22 seconds. And then once you get behind, we tried a couple different looks there late, but listen. Our guys, I thought, battled in the second half and really decided to defend. But a couple layups here or there, a couple fouls here or there, a couple bad rotations. They run one inbounds play, one, and they've run it for like over a decade. We have an assistant on our staff who came from St. Thomas. We knew the inbounds play, and I think they scored off it twice. Like that's just not talking, communicating, and not doing a good enough job of how we're going to guard something. I give these guys a lot of freedom, especially older ones, to talk their way through it. If you don't agree with how we think you should guard it, you guys talk your way through it. But they got themselves all crossways. And again, part of that is the beauty in his coaching. It's simplicity and execution. But a lot of it is our guys, you just can't cheat a step there. So I don't think they scored really, except for, at the end when we didn't have somebody back and they were supposed to, they threw the ball in bounds. But we want to be a team that doesn't allow somebody to just run offense. That team's really hard to do it against. But we were just very, very ineffective at the defensive end.
All right, last question. What does practice look like till the next game between now and then?
We'll be here at 7 in the morning. There will be no basketballs. So we'll either defend or we'll die trying.